Hello everyone. Today I will discuss some variants of Turing machine, and in last video I have discussed about design of Turing machine. So today I will discuss some theoretical aspect of Turing machine which asked in the university exam. First topic is universal Turing machine. Now question is that what is universal Turing machine? This machine came into existence after some problem arised, like every time you have to update your Turing machine. तो यहाँ पे देखिए Turing machine as presented earlier in definition is a special purpose computer. Means special purpose computer means it will work for a particular work for which it is designed, but not for other work. तो रीजन क्या है? once delta is defined, the machine is restricted to carrying out one particular type of computation. Means for what it have been designed, it actually work for that thing, nothing else. Even that digital computer are general purpose machine that can be performed to do different jobs at different times. This is major difference between Turing machine and earlier defined Turing machine and general purpose computer. Using general purpose computer, you can make any documents, you can program, you can listen music, different things. But using Turing machine, you can do only particular task for which it have been designed. Consequently, Turing machine cannot be considered equivalent to general purpose digital computer. That's why it is not equivalent to general purpose computer. So to remove this objection, or this objection can be overcome by designing a reprogrammable Turing machine called a universal Turing machine. So universal Turing machine is just a Turing machine which is reprogrammable. तो इसको reprogram कर सकते हैं, और reprogrammable means you can rewrite according to our need transition function. Basically, on the basis of written transition function or shaped transition function, Turing machine will perform. Once we have write transition function for a particular Turing machine for which it will perform only. So if we cannot rewrite or change any transition rule, then we cannot alter the performance of the Turing machine. So we have developed another Turing machine, that is universal Turing machine, and it is reprogrammable. A universal Turing machine is an automata that given as input in the description of any Turing machine M and a string W can simulate the computation of M on W. तो हम लोग डिस्क्रिप्शन फॉर्म में इनपुट करते हैं और उसके बेसिस पे ये ट्यूरिंग मशीन उस स्ट्रिंग पे एक्शन लेता है. To construct such an universal Turing machine, we first choose a standard way of describing Turing machine. तो एक स्टैंडर्ड वे में हम उसको डिस्क्राइब करते हैं. We may, without loss of generality, assume that Q is set of states. Tau is stack symbol of Q is set of state. Tau is input tape symbol or tape symbols, where A1 represent the blank. A1 earlier Turing machine में हमने small b यूज़ किया था, but here A1 represent means first symbol is represent blank symbol. We select the encoding as following: A1 as 1, Q1 and A1 as 1, L left move as 1, right move as double 1, Q2 and A2 as 1 1, and so on. So every state and every input symbol and every movement have been encoded in the form of 1 and 0. The symbol 0 separates between the ones. 0 को हम सेपरेटर की तरह से यूज़ करते हैं कि अब फॉर एग्जांपल देखिए, अगर लेटस Q1 and लेटस Q1 comma A2 is equal to Q2 A3 L means present state is here, present state is Q1, current input symbol is A2, and next state is Q2, and modifying value of the cell is A3, and direction of movement is L. Then just if after encoding we will get 1 equivalent to Q1 state. After that we have used separator. Then double 1 is equivalent to input symbol A2 and again separator. Next Q2 is the next state and its encoded value is double 1, again separator, and again A3 equivalent is triple 1, then separator, and direction of movement is encoded 1 that we have declared here. L is encoded as 1, R is encoded as double 1, so here is written 1, and after that separator. So like this we have we will encode all the transition rule in the form of 1 and 0 as a separator. A Turing machine then has an input alphabet that includes 0 1 and the structure of multi-tape machine as shown in following figure. The figure is actually given at next page for multi-tape Turing machine. So we have moved here. In multi-tape Turing machine we have used so many tapes as we wish. Here is given 3 input tape, and for a particular input tape there is a dedicated reading writing head, and this is finite control where all the transition rule will be saved. And for this transition rule will be in different form which is given here. Suppose we have used k input tape, so there will be k input tape symbols set, that is tau into k times, so it is written as tau to power k, and state will be, because state will be only one, so it is just written capital Q like earlier Turing machine, and here next state is capital Q. Tau to power k is modifying value of for all tape used, modifying value of cells of corresponding tapes, because we have used k different tapes, so there will be k different modifying values, so tau into k times, so tau to power k, and for every tape head will have movement either left or right, so this is written as L comma R to the power k. It may be for some tape left movements or some will be right movement, so it depends upon the transition rule where have been adopted, so it is written as LR to power k. So for multi-tape Turing machine transition function will be like this, and this is another variant of Turing machine, that is multi-tape Turing machine. Definitely it will enhance power of Turing machine because we have used yum k taps. तो यहाँ पे डिस्क्रिप्शन लिखा है, in a typical move yum enters in a new state. On each step a new symbol is written in the cell under the head. Each step head moves to the left or right or remain stationary. Yes, it may be stationary. The heads move because there are k different taps, so maybe some of maybe corresponding head, some of corresponding head movement left direction or right direction, or maybe some of stationary, and all the movement of the taps will be independent from others, so there is no interference of movement of one tap to another. So these are two variants that we have discussed. Now one of the important topic is Church thesis, and I have already discussed this particular Church thesis many times, but I am going to discuss this one Church thesis. According to Church thesis, there is no such mathematical computation for which there is no Turing machine. It means for every mathematical computation there will definitely a Turing machine. Means whatever we can compute on a paper, definitely for that there will be Turing machine. What function cannot be computed by Turing machine? This was the first question. मतलब आपने पूछा कि क्या कोई ऐसा फंक्शन है जिसके लिए आप या जिसको ट्यूरिंग मशीन कंप्यूट नहीं कर सकता है, या जिसके लिए ट्यूरिंग मशीन नहीं एग्जिस्ट करता है. दिस इज़ वेरी सरप्राइजिंग. इट इज़ बिलीव्ड दैट देयर आर नो फंक्शन दैट कैन बी defined by humans whose calculation can be described by any well-defined mathematical algorithm that people can be taught to perform that cannot be computed by Turing machine. मतलब ऐसा कोई भी कंप्यूटेशन एल्गोरिदम नहीं है जिसके लिए ट्यूरिंग मशीन ना हो. द ट्यूरिंग मशीन इज़ बिलीव्ड टू बी द अल्टीमेट कैलकुलेटिंग मैकेनिज्म. मतलब सब कुछ कर सकता है, सारे मैथमेटिकल कंप्यूटेशन कर सकता है. सो दैट्स वाई ट्यूरिंग मशीन इज़ अल्टीमेट कैलकुलेटिंग मैकेनिज्म. इन अदर वर्ड्स, no computation procedure will be considered an algorithm unless it can be represented as a Turing machine. But very fantastic line that कोई भी ऐसा कंप्यूटेशन या प्रोसीजर नहीं है जिसके लिए कंप्यूटेशन या प्रोसीजर नहीं जिसको आप एल्गोरिदम कह सकें जिसके लिए ट्यूरिंग मशीन ना एग्जिस्ट करता हो. मतलब एल्गोरिदम होने का मतलब है कि ट्यूरिंग मशीन होना ही है उसके लिए. तो जब भी कोई कंप्यूटेशनल प्रोसीजर है और उसके लिए एल्गोरिदम एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है तो डेफिनेटली उसके लिए ट्यूरिंग मशीन एग्जिस्ट करेगा. Unfortunately, Church thesis cannot be a theorem in mathematics because ideas such as can ever be defined by humans and the algorithm that people can be taught to perform are not a part of any known mathematics. एक्चुअल में इसका सेंस ये है कि थियरम इस नाते नहीं हो पाया क्योंकि द क्यू ऑफ ऑल द एल्गोरिदम इज़ इनफाइनाइट. So each and every theorem cannot be tested or cannot, for that we cannot construct a Turing machine. Every time and every day new algorithm is evolving, so Q always increasing, so we cannot end the Q so we cannot say that is theorem, even that it is just equivalent to theorem, but we cannot say that it is theorem, because until unless we cannot prove that for each and every algorithm there exists a Turing machine, we cannot say this is theorem. So the precision is actually, this is infinite time task. That's why, like a pumping lemma theorem, we cannot prove using pumping lemma given language is regular or CFL, because to verify or to test each and every string, it is infinite time task, because it includes infinite number of strings, so we have to test each and every string. That is infinite time task, so we cannot complete that work, so we cannot prove using pumping lemma theorem given language is regular or CFL. Same limitation is here, that is infinite time. That's why we cannot say theorem to Church thesis. Even that there is no problem, but due to infinite time tasks we cannot say. This thesis states that all possible models of computation, if they are sufficiently broad, must be equivalent. It also implies that there is an inherent limitation in this, and that there are functions that cannot be expressed in any way that gives an explicit method for their computation. Sometimes it is also called Church thesis. It provides a general principle for algorithm computation, and while not provable, gives strong evidence that no more powerful models can be found. तो मेन चीज़ ये है कि सबसे बड़ी बात है कि ट्यूरिंग मशीन मोस्ट पावरफुल है, इससे ज़्यादा पावरफुल कोई भी कंप्यूटेशनल मशीन नहीं है। और मेन चीज़ कि चर्च थीसिस में ये बात बोली जाती है कि हर मैथमेटिकल कंप्यूटेशन के लिए ट्यूरिंग मशीन एग्जिस्ट करता है, और इस थीसिस को थ्योरम हम इसलिए नहीं कह पाते हैं कि आप जब तक आप हर एक एल्गोरिदम, हर एक मैथमेटिकल कंप्यूटेशन के लिए ट्यूरिंग मशीन ना बना लें, तब तक आप इस थीसिस को थ्योरम नहीं कर सकते हैं। अब चूँकि इतने सारे मैथमेटिकल कंप्यूटेशन है, इतने सारे एल्गोरिदम हैं, सबके लिए बनाना ये इनफाइनाइट टाइम टास्क है। आप सबके लिए अभी बना के अगर मान लीजिए कंप्लीट करें, तब तक पता चलेगा 100 ऑफ थ्योरम, न्यू थ्योरम have came into existence. So the task will never complete. That's why we cannot say this is theorem. ये इस पे आपसे 60 नोट्स पूछा जाता है, तो आप अपने तरीके से एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज रिकर्सिव एंड रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज। A language L is said to be recursively enumerable if there exists Turing machine that accept it. कोई भी लैंग्वेज रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल तभी होगा जब उसके लिए ट्यूरिंग मशीन एग्जिस्ट करता हो। द डिफिनीशन implies only that there exists a Turing machine M such that for every W belongs to L, Q0W after so many steps it reaches in the ID x1 qf x2 where qf is final state, q0 is initial state। तो कोई भी लैंग्वेज यल ट्यूरिंग मशीन, कोई भी लैंग्वेज यल रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल तभी होगा जब उसके हर एक स्ट्रिंग एक्सेप्टेड हो बाय ये ट्यूरिंग मशीन। तो ए लैंग्वेज ऑन set of input alphabet is said to be recursive if there exists a Turing machine M that accepts L and that halts. This is major difference between recursive language and recursively enumerable language. Recursive enumerable language is less restricted because it need only to exist a Turing machine. It don't have need to halt. but in case of recursive language it is more restricted. It needs both that existence of Turing machine as well as halt for each and every string of language L. So then the more aspects, the extra aspect is halt aspect. In recursively enumerable language only need to exist Turing machine, but in recursive language we need to exist a Turing machine as well as halt for each and every string belong to Turing machine. तो ये इम्पॉर्टेंट आस्पेक्ट है। और इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि रिकर्सिव लैंग्वेज आपका सबसेट होगा रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज का, क्योंकि रिकर्सिव लैंग्वेज में हाल्टिंग का भी बात किया गया है और रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज में केवल ट्यूरिंग मशीन एग्जिस्टेंस का बात किया गया है। तो ब्लॉक डायग्राम फॉर्म में भी इसको रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं। कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स हैं। देयर एग्जिस्ट ए रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज हुज कॉम्प्लीमेंट इज़ नॉट रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज। अगर आप किसी रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज का कॉम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे तो रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज नहीं होगा। इफ़ लैंग्वेज यल, सेकेंड पॉइंट, if language L and its complement L bar are both recursively enumerable language, then both language are recursive। यानी कि रिकर्सिव लैंग्वेज का ही कॉम्प्लीमेंट रिकर्सिव लैंग्वेज होता है। और आप ये जानते हैं अच्छी तरीके से कि रिकर्सिव लैंग्वेज इज सबसेट ऑफ रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज that I have already discussed. So the major difference is that if any language is recursively enumerable but it is not recursive, then complement of recursively enumerable language is not recursively enumerable language. But if any language L that is recursively enumerable and its complement L bar is also recursively enumerable language, then definitely L and L bar both will be recursive language। तो ये आपको ध्यान में रखना है। देयर एग्जिस्ट, थर्ड पॉइंट, देयर एग्जिस्ट ए रिकर्सिव इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज that is not recursive, that is not recursive, that is the family of recursive language is a proper subset of the family of the recursively enumerable language। आगे चल के वो ब्लॉक डायग्राम फॉर्म में बताया जाएगा। यहाँ पे देखिए रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज आपका ये पूरा जो बड़ा ओवल शेप है वो रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है। स्मॉल कोर पार्ट में रिकर्सिव लैंग्वेज को शो कर रहा है। तो रिकर्सिव लैंग्वेज इज़ मोर रिस्ट्रिक्टेड, सो इट इज़ विद इन द रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज, एंड रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज इज लेस रिस्ट्रिक्टेड because it don't need have a halt of Turing machine, but recursive language needs to halt, so it is more restricted, so it is proper subset of recursively enumerable language। proper subset and subset ये ध्यान देना है कि recursively enumerable language cannot be equal to recursive language। तो R1 is subset of R2 and R1 is proper subset of R2। this we have to care। Some other points, when a Turing machine executes an input, there are 4 possible outcomes of execution, that then Turing machine halts and accept the input, halts and reject the input, never halt, crash। तो ये 4 आउटकम्स होते हैं जब आप किसी ट्यूरिंग मशीन से को कोई इनपुट स्ट्रिंग प्रोसेस करने के लिए इनपुट करते हैं तो 4 डिफरेंट आउटकम्स आ सकते हैं। पहला, हाल्ट कर सकता है मशीन और एक्सेप्ट भी करेगा इनपुट को, मतलब इनपुट करने को जो भी स्ट्रिंग इनपुट किए हैं उसको एक्सेप्ट करके और हाल्ट मशीन हो जाएगी। दूसरा है हाल्ट करेगा और रिजेक्ट करेगा स्ट्रिंग को, मतलब स्ट्रिंग इनवैलिड हो जाएगी। तीसरा, आउटकम हो सकता है कभी हाल्ट ही नहीं होगा, इनफाइनाइट लूप में चला जाएगा। चौथा हो सकता है क्रैश कर सकता है, मतलब आपका सिस्टम ही डिस्ट्रॉय हो जाए। तो ये 4 डिफरेंट आउटकम्स हैं, ये ध्यान देना है। We also know that the language accepted by Turing machine is known as recursively enumerable language, and the set of recursive language is subset of recursively enumerable language. ये ब्लॉक डायग्राम में बातें बोली गई हैं। The set of recursively enumerable language are precisely those language that can be listed, मतलब इन्यूमरेट लिस्ट जिसको किया जा सके, जिसको इन्यूमरेट किया जा सके, लिस्टेड, इस वजह से इसको रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज कहते हैं। इफ़ ए लैंग्वेज एल इज़ रिकर्सिव, थ्योरम है, इफ़ ए लैंग्वेज इज़ रिकर्सिव देन इट इज़ रिकर्सिवली इन्यूमरेबल लैंग्वेज। तो इट इज़ वेरी ऑब्वियस because recursively enumerable language is superset and recursive language is subset of recursively enumerable language. So every recursive language is recursively enumerable language, and in the aspects of restriction we can also conclude this point, because recursively enumerable language is less restricted. It needs only to accept, but in the case of recursive language it needs to also halt besides accept. तो ये बातें हैं। मल्टी टेप ट्यूरिंग मशीन हमने अभी डिस्कस ही किया है कि इसमें मेनी टैप्स होते हैं, इनपुट टैप्स, इन विच यू कैन इनपुट द थिंग्स व्हाट यू हैव टू प्रोसेस, एंड इफ इट हैव k taps, according to that transition rules are given here. And how will be the transition rule? There is present state q and input symbol a. This is correspond to first input tab, this is correspond to second input tab, and this is correspond to last input tab, that is RH, and P will be next state for each. No, this is Turing machine, this is given actually it is given and non-deterministic for there are so many outcomes. R outcomes means it can go into P1 state or P2 state or PR state, and modifying value accordingly may be different, y1, y2, so on, yr, and movement is d1, d2, so on, dr. So this is about a non-deterministic Turing machine. And non-deterministic Turing machine is given here also. In the case of standard Turing machine, delta qa is maps into this one, delta qa map into this in this way, matlab what will be next state, what will be modifying value of current cell, what is direction of movement. definition यहाँ पे दिया गया है उसका in same way. Capital Q is set of non-empty set of states. This is step symbol, this is blank symbol, this is input set of alphabet, input alphabet set, this is initial state, this is set of final state, and this is transition rule. तो NDFA के केस में this will be power set, that is 2 to the power k. Earlier we have discussed there, 2 to the power k q इंटू करके है जो यहाँ पे डिस्कस किया गया था. सो मेनी आउटकम्स विल बी देयर, और यही चीज़ें जो है नेक्स्ट वी विल डिस्कस इन नेक्स्ट वीडियो. तो आज आप लोगों ने बड़ी वेरिएंट्स ऑफ ट्यूरिंग मशीन के बारे में पढ़ा. इस वीडियो को रेफ़र करिए और समझने की कोशिश करिए। इसमें से एग्ज़ाम में शॉर्ट नोट्स में चीज़ें पूछी जाती हैं। थैंक यू।